Hello and welcome back to Ending Superman's Life, episode number 242. As always, I am Engineer John. Today on the show we have our regular hosts, Mr. Nefario, Supreme Leader, and Jeff has brought a very special guest. It's a very special episode, and we think you're really going to enjoy it. Remember to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, or wherever you find us, including Spotify and YouTube, and please leave a review. It really helps us out. If you want to get in touch, search Ending Superman's Life on Facebook, and you can like our page there. We are at Ending Superman on Twitter, Ending Superman's Life on Instagram, and you can email us directly at endingsupermanslife@gmail.com. Also, Jeff is at PartyTimeJeff68 on Twitter and PartyTimeJeff67 on Instagram. Now, please enjoy episode 242 of Ending Superman's Life. And as always, fuck you, Superman.
Gentlemen, we've gathered for a singular purpose. With the combined efforts of myself, Supreme Leader,
Mr. Nefario,
and
Jeffrey,
we shall endeavor to kill Superman. We're not too different, you and I, Superman. Sure, I have a vastly superior intellect, an army of killer robots at my disposal, a better outfit, and probably more money, but at the end of the day, we both strive for the same thing. We want the world to be a better place, a utopia. Unfortunately for you, my version of a utopia requires your Kryptonian head on a stick. When I find you, Superman, I'm going to...
what is this?
sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah.
Who's the man?
Okay, pop up. Okay, pop up. I told you if you came in, you're gonna have to be quiet.
That man's on fire!
Yep. Okay. Yes. He's,
All right,
he's a fire
I was-
monster.
I'm a fire monster.
Okay, hold shit. All right, I was gonna...
I'm sorry about this.
Who is this guy?
I assumed
John,
this
did
would
we
be
have to mic him
explained,
up?
but...
I just thought it'd be nice to have your grandpa
All
mic'd up.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, is that who this
is
is?
my grandfather. His name's Ernest Schmaltz. He's my maternal grandfather.
Pleasure to meet everybody. And as Jeffrey said, my name is Ernest. My friends call me Sal.
Pop up. Don't do this.
You can call me Ernest.
Oh God.
It kills at the barbershop, I know.
Is Sal short for Ernest?
I thought Sal was short for
The
Salvador.
joke is because that you can call him Ernest. Though nobody actually calls
No,
him
I
Sal.
know. I
He
get.
doesn't have-
it?
I get that.
He doesn't have any.
It's a bit. I
friends.
get it. I just.
That sounds fine to
I don't
me.
see how Sal is connected
Pop up.
to
I told
Ernest.
you. You're kind of interrupting.
What am I interrupting?
My friend was in the middle of a monologue.
Okay, well, I feel like we've kind of taken the piss out of it at this point, but this is sort of a collective group of individuals who want to kill Superman.
It's loud.
Oh, you're still doing that.
Superman? The fella who flies around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Pop up.
he's...
Really, you're going to have to just sit down and just try to be quiet, okay? I gave you those crosswords.
Well, okay,
I get the whole book of them.
Jerry, why
You need
is
a
he?
pen?
Why does he have the microphone?
John, can I have a pen?
Oh,
To
sure.
give
Here
to
you go.
Pop up. Thank you.
Is
that
Mad Libs or crosswords?
They're crosswords. That's
I like the crosswords. I don't know all the answers, but it's nice when I do know.
he only gets like a couple of them per page. He goes through a whole book in like an hour.
What are your thoughts on Superman, Ernest?
The fella who flies around with the blue.
Yes,
Partially blue, yeah.
he's often wearing blue and flying like a
It
jerk.
seems fine to me, but I mean, I could see how somebody might have a problem.
See? There you go.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks, Grandpa.
You're all right,
I'll tell you
Ernest.
who liked Superman a lot was your grandmother, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
She thought he was awfully well hung in the crotch region.
Yeah.
She made me aware of it several times in the bedroom.
That's really emasculating. Why are you telling me this?
Hey. You know, I hear when you get older, you lose your filter.
Yeah, I guess he does. Like, what are you putting on airs for? I guess.
Yeah, right.
He is he's got that super bulge. I'm not, intimidated to say
I
that
kept
he's...
telling her, it's the costume. It's not anything to do with the size of his package.
Pop Schmaltz, come on. Let's just sit down and just relax, okay? I just have to do this quick, and then we can go to the movies. It's fine, okay?
Yeah,
Of course,
why
of course.
you're going... Okay, well,
it's fine. We've got plans for the day. It's fine.
Actually, I have a question for Ernest, if I may.
All right, fine.
Please, go ahead. Ernest, do you have any favorite supervillains?
Oh, that's good.
Good question, right? It's not
Yeah.
bad. Well, I don't really approve of the, going around and making mayhem and causing all the havoc. But, what I don't mind is the ones with all the rays.
The rays?
Those are rays.
Like guns?
Well, yes, the ones who have all, they put their hand out and then,
Yeah.
and then something happens with it. The people, they get small, they get big, and they get frozen.
Sure,
and they go on fire.
You mean sort of like this?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they both actually.
What's your name? Your name?
My name is Supreme Leader.
Well, Mr. Leader, I'd like to say that you got a real nice ray on you. And I wonder, Jeffrey, how long have you been working with these fellas? Because
this isn't my job. This is just something I do to get out of the house and active. We went to my job earlier at the Kinko's, and you kept talking to everybody there.
It's 3:00 in the afternoon, Jeffrey. This is when a gentleman works.
Yeah, well, Kinko's is a 24-hour establishment, so I have to be there in the morning, and then I get
probably
off around
doing
2.
like a graveyard shift.
Yeah,
sort of.
I
now I'm
see,
here
I
to
see.
do this.
That's very brave of you, Jeffrey. Now, Mr. Leader,
It's not brave of me. It's
with all of these rays, you
greatest
remind me of
generation,
this
my
other
ass.
fella, the one, what was he? He was, he had the bats. You're talking
That's Batman.
No. I remember Batman.
Are you saying he shoots bats out of his hand? Because that is not.
No. He had all the bats, and they were on his arms. Or maybe
What?
it was his back. He had the cape for sure.
Okay, he had bats on his actual physical bats.
He had a bat somewhere on him. I can't remember.
Was it on his chest? Was it like a big bat
Yeah,
he
that's-
placed on his
Maybe it
chest?
was on his chest.
You think
But he had
that's
horns.
Batman.
That's Gotham.
He had horns on his, one on each ear.
Those are ears. Those are ears. Those aren't horns.
Those
They're
are
supposed to be
ears?
bat ears. Yeah.
They're very sharp for
And
ears.
you're thinking of Batman. You're thinking of Gotham
no,
City's
no,
hero.
because you could see part of his face.
Yeah.
And he had a man face.
Yeah. No, that's Batman.
That sounds a lot like that. He had part of a man face, and he had this car. This car was really good, Jeffrey. You would have liked it. You would have said to yourself, just like I did. This was a number of years ago. I said to myself, "Oh, he's rolling in the dough." But how do you do that as a superhero?
Did the car have a jet engine on the back?
It wasn't a jet engine. It was not a propeller. What do you call it? A rocket. He had a rocket on the back.
That's a jet pop-up. This is Batman you're talking about. You're talking about Gotham City.
Were you in
Batman.
Gotham City
Yeah,
when you saw this?
When you
this
saw
man?
the car, were we in Gotham?
Was it Gotham or was it? There's the one in between the two of them. It was Toledo, maybe. No, it's not in Toledo.
Pop.
Yeah, Batman's very rarely seen in Toledo.
No, not Toledo. It was Gotham City. Have you been to Toledo?
Yes, it's a very lovely place. Your grandmother took me to Toledo once to meet one of her cousins, and it wasn't very nice there then. And she told me later on it was quite nice, so I had to believe her.
Pop, you're saying it wasn't nice when you went there, but then later Grandma said that it was nice, so you believe her that it actually was nice?
But they did have a city beautification program a number of decades ago.
You know what Toledo's sort of municipal policies have been? Mr. Nefario?
You've been doing some reading on Toledo, Mr. Nefario.
I've got some investments.
But Pop, I want you to describe to me what you think Batman does look like, because you're pretty sure that this man is not Batman.
Sounds very much like it's
let me tell
definitely
you,
Batman.
think-
I
that is
met the
Batman.
Batman. He had a very nice car. He had a
Yep.
helicopter. He had a motorcycle. He had all the different kinds of vehicles.
You
You
met
met
him-
the Batman when he
He
was
had
using
the
all of
boat.
his modes of
Were
transportation.
you at his secret lair?
Where
or how?
were you?
No, I was sitting on a sidewalk, and these fellas with the masks on, they came and they accosted a lady at the other side of the sidewalk. And the Batman, he came.
You're saying some men in masks catcalled a woman, and Batman was there.
He was
in a
there.
boat?
He was there. He wasn't. No, he had the boat on the back of the car. He said he was on his way to vacation, and that he was there. And maybe now
You said he
I'm
had a
thinking
boat
about it.
on the back.
No,
Yeah,
no,
not
no,
thinking about it.
no,
What were you
no. It wasn't. That wasn't the Batman. That was just a man. That was just a man
That
who
was
had
just
the
a man?
Batman T-shirt.
Are you sure? Okay, what does the Batman T-shirt look like? Okay, here we are for something.
Okay, the Batman T-shirt.
Right now, it
has the
seems
two
like
eyes.
Yep.
you're on board with the fact that this is in fact Batman. Is what
No,
it
he
seems.
says just a man with a Batman T-shirt.
Right, but the fact that he can identify a Batman T-shirt.
Well, that's why I'm asking what the T-shirt looks
It
like.
had
'Cause
the two eyes, and then it had the horns like before, but they were pointier. They go up
you're
in the
saying,
middle of his head.
so that you're saying the
There.
difference between the man you're trying to describe to us and actual Batman is that the ears are pointier.
There's
for
much
Batman.
pointier in the shirt. But it was the insignia in the shirt, and it was yellow and also the black. But the real Batman, when I met him, he had the blue cape. It was the blue cape one.
No, he changed his cape color. Yeah.
He's got different capes, I think. But anyone who's
And he
dealing
flies
with
around with the little fairy boy, the little gay boy.
He's not okay. We can't.
That's
I don't
not
think we
really-
can say we
Can't
can't
say
say
that.
that.
No,
Yeah,
and he
they
He
doesn't.
wears the little
frown.
tights.
Oh.
He also doesn't fly
It was
around.
maybe it was a,
He
Unless you're
doesn't
talking about
fly
in the
around. He
car.
doesn't carry
In the
the little
plane.
boy.
No,
He
Or is
doesn't
it the
carry
little
a little
girl?
boy. It's a,
when
no.
when was this that you saw Batman or
I just
this?
had
little
walked
boy.
out of a community theater production of Peter Pan.
Oh, okay, so maybe some
You're
wires
maybe-
are being crossed.
Yeah, you're kind of conflating, I think, two experiences right now.
Well, yeah,
I
'cause
do believe
Toledo's
you saw
actually
Peter
got
Pan,
great theater.
and you saw somebody fly away with
It was a
sort of
wonderful
little
production
boy.
of Peter Pan.
I don't believe that you saw Batman in Toledo.
I saw
unless,
Miss Saigon there.
Like the Joker was going to blow
Do you
up
think
Toledo.
No,
I don't believe
no,
you've seen-
no.
I do believe you know who
saw a
Batman
man
is.
Who looked like Batman in Toledo. I saw Peter Pan in Toledo.
Pop, I need you to stop, okay? You saw Batman. You know your favorite superhero is Batman, okay? And we're just gonna have to end it at that, okay?
With the
and
rocket.
also,
Have the bats
also you
on
don't
his
like
arms.
Toledo, okay? Remember,
Oh, no,
you
not
don't
the-
like Toledo.
But he has the bat arms because they go up and he flies.
Pop, can we just move on? Can we just start? Can we go back to your rant, maybe? I mean, we're still at the beginning of the show.
I don't. I think that that moment is
Dude,
past.
somebody ask him a different question. He's.
Oh, is he asleep now?
Yeah,
It looks like he
Okay.
might be.
just nodded. John.
Yes.
Jerry, you want to turn the microphone
Yeah,
off,
can we
please?
turn-
I'll try. Give me just a minute,
can we
please.
take the microphone off of him.
Yeah, it's really
Okay,
distracting.
if you don't mind, I'm
'Cause
going to
otherwise this is
disable
just a-
remotely his hearing aids so
Thank
that we
you.
don't wake him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
'Cause he-
Right.
Okay.
So
he-
yeah. Anyways,
should
the
be-
whole reason why he's
Oh,
staying with
no.
me is that the old folks' home that he's in is being fumigated for bed bugs and hornets.
Sure.
It's a pretty bad situation down there, and my parents can't
Bed
take
bugs
him.
and hornets.
And hornets.
Uh-huh.
It's a bad.
That's a lot to deal with.
There's a lot of
It's
insects
a
in
few
there.
different poisons you're going to need.
So they
probably.
tented the whole thing. It's the biggest housing tent I've ever seen, and they're just sort of.
And he can't just be wandering around talking
No,
nonsense
all the-
about
it's not
Batman.
all the
multiple
residents have to
tents
go to their
tied
families.
together, right? It's just one.
Well, I mean, it's a bunch of tarps sort of tied together like that.
Are they all the same color?
Yeah, it's like the same sort of pattern. It's like the whole company's just like those, those yellow and greens, and like they're stitched together. Like it looks abysmal. That's not the point. The point is that he's staying with me and at my new place that you've seen actually.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
You've got a new. Oh, right. That's right.
yeah,
You
you'll remember.
Yeah.
you asked for help to move, and I was busy. You
I,
chipped in, Mr. Nefario.
well, I wasn't busy, so I went over there. And frankly, Jeff, I thought that maybe you were a little harsh on
Well,
me.
I mean, maybe we should get into this in 1 second. Did you kill Superman?
I did not kill Superman.
Oh, that's
despite,
interesting because you said you couldn't help me
Well,
move because you were busy doing that.
an effort was made to kill. The plans
Please,
were being
could
drawn.
you tell us more about?
Well, I'm still working on it, on the plan. But
And you're still working on this plan, but it was that time sensitive that you couldn't lend me a couple hours to
you
help
know,
me.
when genius strikes you, you have to strike while the iron's hot. You don't want to forget some genius master stroke, and then all of a sudden Superman's alive forever.
Right. Okay.
So-
Okay. So you didn't kill Superman, but you planned it. Let me ask you another thing. Did you get around to going back and planting all the things you need to in the Phantom Zone back previous
The
in
Phantom
time?
Zone, right? No, I did not.
Yeah,
And it,
that would seem like a while back.
Yeah,
now.
remember that?
A couple weeks ago.
well, with time travel, I could wait years and go back and do it. So I'm not as in. But it's funny you mention it because last night I even got a visit from a future version of myself.
A future version of you.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
future Supreme Leader shows up and he says, "I am you from the future." And I said,
How
"Well,
far into the future? How'd you look?
I looked pretty good." So I
Couple
don't
of
think
grays in the beard there. Or
the outfit was a little different, different
Couple
hue.
upgrades.
But I don't. It's hard to say. But he said, I'm Supreme Leader from the future," and I said, "Well, obviously, you're either a clone or a future version of myself."
Well, that doesn't sound like obviously was merited then. There were actually two plausible
Sure,
solutions
but
to this.
it's he said it with this dramatic flair that I guess I understand.
wait, but for
you're
clarification,
saying future you said something with dramatic flair. Go figure. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta say I'm not that surprised. I'm reading Jeff's sarcasm.
I feel like if maybe on someone else it would work, but like he's not impressing me that he's from the future. I've been to the future. Whatever. So he shows up and he says, "I am Supreme Leader of the future," and I said, "Well, obviously," and he said, "It is very important that you go back and leave those clues and materials necessary to escape the Phantom Zone." And
That's
I said,
literally what Mr. Nefario and I are telling you constantly.
I actually have a clarification question. With the more time that you spend away from from doing this, from completing your responsibilities, is there some kind of like entropy loss that'll create some sort of shifting paradox?
Or even beyond that, just are you going to forget what you did to like escape and like you're not going to remember exactly what to plan?
Same question.
I'm saying the way time works, I clearly do it eventually. Otherwise, I would have never escaped. So it must have happened at some point in the future.
Okay, but
I mean, we could also get to a point where you should have gone back, and then you'll just blank out, and you'll have been back there.
Look, I'm going to do it.
why didn't future self of
See,
you
okay,
just
thank you.
go all the way back
Exactly.
and do it to take care of it?
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I said, okay, you're wasting time coming to talk to me to tell me to do this when you could have just gone and done it.
Yeah, you're like your
'cause
future
now-
self is like kicking the can, like not down. It's like backwards, back the road behind you.
Behind the road, yeah.
Right.
You, yeah.
No. I see. Okay.
It's like a
I
past
wish
you should have kicked that can
That
back
is-
at yourself.
that is such a great argument, Jeff, and I wish I should have called you because
Well,
that would have been.
You know what? It's funny you asked because I'm starting to get future yous visiting me saying, "Hey, I'm not getting any sort of traction with him."
Wait, like in
So
your
you-
like
you
not
also-
like a
Mr.
gamer- no,
Nefario,
okay,
Mr.
so
Nefario,
Supreme
future
Leader,
Nefario, there's
like
a
a
big,
future
big, like,
Supreme
sort of
Leader
tear in the
will
wall,
just
like
show up,
energy
there'll
and
be a
everything.
huge
Sure.
tear in the
Sounds
wall.
like
Steps
yeah.
future you. This is why I
Oh,
asked
that's
you
you.
how you were looking to see if like we said the same person.
So-
Same guy, couple more grays and beard, slightly different outfit, but all 100% Supreme Leader. Okay, he comes walking out. He says, "Hey Jeff, I got to level with you, man."
Okay. Well, did he? Hold on. I'm
And
curious.
so this is what.
I'm
this
sorry,
is-
Jeff, but did he do the "I am Supreme Leader of the future"? Did he do that?
Of course he fucking did that. Are you joking me?
Well,
Yes, of
it's-
course.
It just seems ridiculous.
That's
It's
how I knew it
it's
was
a fair
you.
question, but it's also a pretty obvious answer.
That's
Okay,
why. yeah.
I'm just curious if he pulled the same crap with you. But okay, go ahead.
Of course he did. And that's when I say obviously. I don't, right? Because I know who he is. Anyways, he says, I'm not getting any sort of purchase with him going into the past, into the Phantom Zone. Can you please bug him? So it's like student loans, you know? If you ignore student loan callers enough, they'll start calling your friends and
Wow.
tell you to start like bugging them. And I'm getting sick of this guy.
see,
just
now that is frustrating to learn because now not only do I have to remember to go back in time and save myself from the Phantom Zone, I have to remember to go back in time and bug myself, and I have to remember to go back in time and bug you. And so now there's like just all these extra trips I have to take,
you
and
know
it's
what?
just getting more and more
Another
ridiculous.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
what
I'm not gonna lie. I got a feeling that some behavioral norms have existed for a while, and maybe that's why we're seeing the continued pattern. I don't know. I'm no psychologist, but
maybe that means at some point in the future you do start going to therapy. Like I know some people in your life have been suggesting, and that you instead of maybe it works halfway where you get to the point where you'll remind your past self, but you won't go all the way and do it because you think it's something that your past self has to accomplish for itself in order to feel fulfilled.
yeah, how about
I'm
this
just-
for the
it's-
Minority Report? Unit 37 goes back.
I don't
Right.
know where that guy is.
And you know what? We'll have more info on his whereabouts after the break. We'll be right back. The greatest show on earth is now coming to Metropolis. C.C. Haley and Norton Brothers Circus present the magnificent Haley Circus. Hey, wait a minute. This was the circus where that kid's whole family died, like 10 years ago. Who were they again?
We were told by the company to specifically not mention the Flying Graysons.
The Flying Graysons. Right. Tragic. Really sad.
the company is trying to distance itself from that image?
Makes perfect sense. If I ran a circus, well, my circus would definitely have dead parents, but most circuses probably wouldn't. Could be worse, though. Remember when the Mad Hatter took over the other circus in Gotham? Which one was that again? Remember he hypnotized the whole audience and was making them, like, jump through the flaming hoop and feeding themselves to the lions? I think the clowns even started eating each other.
That was also Haley's circus?
Oh shit, really? Oof. What a run of bad luck. Oh man, I would never go to that circus. They should really invest in some new advertising. Get people's minds off it, you know?
That's kind of what we're supposed to be doing here. Do you want me to run it back?
No. We got a lot to lay down today. Where were we? Coming to Metropolis at the end of the month. See the sights, sounds, and wonder of an amazing 3-ring circus experience. Haley's Circus. Somehow still in business. No longer home of psychotic hypnotists and dead parents.
Mr. Nefario, we're really not supposed to bring that stuff up at all.
Right. Sure thing. Listen, use the promo code dead_super_circus to save 10% on tickets booked online at www.cchaleys.com. Fun for the whole family. Unless, of course, they get trampled by some abused elephant.
Should I cut that out?
Nah, it's fine. All right, now back to the show.
I
Well,
sent him to help you.
interesting you
I sent
tell-
him to
you
help
say
you
that.
with the move,
Yes.
and then never heard from him.
Before, and I actually do know where he is, and we're going to get to that in a second. I want to address one more thing before we move on to that, which is that every time that your future self comes back and begs me to tell you to
So
go
how
back
many
and
times?
fast,
Wait, this has happened multiple times.
this has happened 3 times, and
Wow.
every time I say, well, hey, how am I doing in the future?
okay,
what
don't-
goes on with me? And he gives me the saddest look, and he shakes his head, and he says, I have to go. I'm so sorry. And then he steps out, and it's so ominous, and it's horrible. I don't even know how far in the future he's from.
Yeah,
That may be you next
unnecessary for
week.
your future self.
Basically, I'm staring at you, waiting for you to change outfits, knowing that something bad's about to happen to me, and I need to start.
That is really annoying because when he showed up for me, he didn't just deliver his message and leave. He stayed and ate most of my Teddy Grams.
Do they not have Teddy Grams in the future? I mean, maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe
that's what he's
maybe
concerned
that's it.
about.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's then. Okay,
Maybe
I'm just
he comes from a
overreacting.
time where you've already been saved, but he just wanted to harass Jeff, and there are no more Teddy Grams, so he's just stealing your Teddy Grams.
That's a good point because he comes from the future, right? So
Yeah.
that means if he's going back in time to here, he knows that sometime between then and now, he's maybe you've already left the tools you need.
Look, I understand we're talking about myself, but fuck that guy.
I think you're going to come to regret that. But
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, come around to that. Come around to go around to
It's
getting.
honestly,
to what you need
it's
to
on
do.
my calendar this weekend. Gonna knock it out. Go back in time. I mean, now I've got. The more times you tell me he showed up, is more times I have to go back in time. Which it sounds like I'm not gonna do that this weekend because I don't have gray hairs or a different outfit yet.
It's true.
So I'm gonna do.
You're
I'm gonna
not
do.
gonna go back
I'm gonna
and
do the
remind
Phantom
yourself.
Zone
Yeah,
one.
do the Phantom Zone. That's the most important one. Okay,
That's the one
If you
to
don't
do.
remember to come back and
And then
remind
the other
us
ones-
to remind you, that'll be fine.
Right. Okay. This is just. It's
In
getting.
fact, if you don't remember to come back and remind me, I won't know the difference. So I'm going to be fine. 'Cause that's
Sure,
already
but it's
the
just like
past
if I
for me.
don't
But
go
if he doesn't
back
come
and
back
pester
to remind
myself,
you,
will
he
I
may
go?
not have ever put that on
Right.
the books.
So okay,
it's-
you'll either get around to it or you won't. The
Yeah.
most important thing.
I think what we have to accept here is that he's definitely having had harassed you already, and you definitely feel bad about it, and he's definitely going to do it at least one more time.
Right, and I think the big thing to focus on here is that we need more Teddy Grams, but 37 is away.
He's gone.
He's gone and can't do any shopping.
Well, that brings us to my story. Maybe we should go. Mr. Nefario, did you kill Superman this week? No.
Oh,
okay.
no,
well,
not
then,
at all.
Great.
I was
We'll
just
go-
helping you move.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Which brings me to my story. So, thank you for helping me move.
My pleasure.
Mr. Nefario. You said you
Anything I
read
can
some
do to help?
sarcasm earlier in my voice. I don't know if you hear it now. Listeners to this podcast will know Mr. Nefario is made of fire.
Sure am. Yep.
Fire monster from the fourth dimension. It's fourth dimensional fire. We should point that out.
Lava, fire,
It
plasma.
burns,
Burns
hotter.
time.
Fourth
Burns
state
not
of
just
matter.
matter, but time.
Yeah, fourth
Yeah, no.
state of matter. Yeah.
So I was moving to a new apartment, okay? Because AJ, my former roommate, also frequent guest of this podcast, kind of
Love that guy.
Abomination Jeff. He's all fucked up, that guy.
Well, he's doing right for himself because he actually bought a house. If you can believe it.
Really?
In this, yeah.
Wow.
He bought a house up in
Maybe
the hills.
did that Mr. McGuffin, Mr. I don't think we ever figured out what it. He had some deal
That
going on
guy
with.
that visited the two of you.
Yeah, the guy whose name
Did he
that
sort
you guys
him out?
Didn't really.
The M
no,
name?
He did
No.
not. As far as I know, he has. I mean, I haven't
So
actually
he's still,
seen AJ
he's still like
for
a horrible
like a week.
monster.
Yes, he's still like an unfathomable creature, but
Okay.
he's financially doing quite well. So he bought this
Interesting.
house up in the hills, 3-bedroom place. He doesn't have any roommates.
Wow.
I said, "Oh, cool. Like, can we I'll throw you some money every month." And he said, "You know what? No, this is just for me. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to. You can stay here in this apartment. I can't afford that place on my own. I really can't." So
Because your mom moved out too, right?
right. Yeah. So my mom was staying with me for a little while when she and my stepdad were sort of going through like an argument, but they're back together and they're actually on a cruise right now, which is why I'm still got Pop with me instead of being with them. Yeah. There you go. Great. As a fun
Like
cue.
if you say his name, it stirs him.
It's unsettling.
I thought we turned Jerry.
Yeah. Honestly, Jerry,
Oh, sorry,
you don't need
guys,
to turn that back up when I reference him.
Just wanted to check on him. That's all.
Great. Yeah. He's still breathing. Trust me. He's going to outlive us all. So, especially me, if future you has any sort of indication. Anyways, so I can't afford this place on my own. I need to move to a much smaller. It's a much worse part of town. It's going to make my commute an hour 15 minutes to the Kinko's on Vine.
Oh man, that's a long commute.
Yeah, that's one way.
You want me to drill under the ground and give you like?
Well, I think you've done quite enough. All right, because I'll give you credit. You know, the thought that counts. You actually showed up to help me move.
Well, and I'd like a little. I did send 37 in my stead. He can lift things much heavier than I'm able to.
And you did. And 37 and I were doing pretty well until Mr. Nefario showed up and said, "Oh, looks like you still got quite a bit to do. I'll get to work." I didn't even ask, like, okay, do you have like moving, like, what is your sort of like apparatus for this?
I had the helm.
You just,
I wasn't burning up the ceiling.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt your story, but what's with this helm that you're wearing? You've got the mustache over the helm.
Yeah, you remember from the jig when
we all remember them. You've not been without the
the
mustache.
tungsten
since.
fiber.
Yes, you're very proud
I
of.
trimmed it a little bit.
I did not notice.
I welded it to the helm.
No,
Yeah,
I see.
we see
right.
that. That is
I'm curious why
very-
there's a mustache on your.
You guys like it? It's not. It's
I'm
not so
curious
much a
why
goatee
We've told you we
anymore.
don't like it.
I'm
so
not a
many
big
times.
fan, but I don't understand why you have it on top of the helmet now.
Well, I just feel like I spent so much time working on it, and might as well be proud of my work.
That's fine that you're proud of your work, but I'm saying it's just not working.
I'm not judging you. I'm just curious.
You think mustaches just aren't in right now?
Well,
Mustache.
it's not-
If you can grow a mustache, if a human being can grow a mustache, go ahead and do it. Well, you're not a human being. You can't grow a mustache. This is a piece of metal just floating in front of your face. You're not fooling anybody.
I will say I'm impressed with the fact that your voice does not seem to be, encumbered. We're still hearing you pretty clear through that helm that you're wearing.
Oh yeah, I actually don't project sound through space. I just project it into your minds.
Wow, that is, I've known you for years and I did not know that about you.
It's true. I even emulate the spatial reflections of my would-be voice in your heads,
So then, why do we set up a microphone in front of you every time we do this podcast?
so I can be recorded.
I mean, if this is all telepathic, how are these microphones actually picking up your voice?
They're really good microphones, like really good.
That's not a satisfying answer. Like every question I ask,
I'm sorry
Not a
to
satisfying
interrupt.
answer.
I just, we need to do like an intervention at some point. Okay, anyways.
I can't.
but
We
pl-
can't pry that off of his head.
Please, well,
Check out the mustache,
like
guys. It'll be on the
Magneto.
website. You'll be able to see the photographs.
So
Very proud.
Mr. Nefario shows up, says, "Oh, looks like he's still got a lot of moving to do." First thing he does is grabs my box with marked DVDs and CDs. Right. Immediately, it is
was
engulfed
that
in
heavy
flames,
and-
and it's not even like there's ashes or there's like melted remains. It's
I
just
assumed
his
you were going
body.
to ask me to help
his body
and then prepare for me to help.
Your body consumed it. All of my CDs and DVDs, and so now I'm paying for Netflix on top of rent because I need some entertainment, and I was using my DVDs. Now I got to stream, and that's a monthly fee.
You should have also let me carry down the box of DVD player, plus maybe a VCR if you had any tapes in there, your CD players. If I burned all your media, then you might as well burn all the media players and at least make me feel like I'm helping.
You're helping me declutter? I didn't ask you to help me
I don't know that your
declutter.
self-esteem needs to be the
30
priority.
Just go onto my couch. 37 was moving my couch just fine. Like,
I mean,
he's
I
a
will say
robot
it
that
was
can-
it was sweet of you to help, but you know you should
We've
have
addressed
considered.
that it's sweet of him to help. Now we need to
Man,
address the realities of the situation.
Now, I
Because
did try to make up for it, didn't I?
Hold on, because 37 was moving this couch and doing a fine job of it. And he's a robot that doesn't even like exert like energy. He's fine. You say, hey, let me help you with that. Half of my fridge or my couch is now just singed.
It was
it's-
immolated, yeah.
Yeah, and like luckily 37
More
like
of like
quickly
a
sort
love
of
seat
scooted away.
now.
I think for safety. He thought that if you
He
were
gets a
attached to
little
that couch, he
toasty
was
around
going to-
me, too, yeah.
So, yes, did you try to make it up to me? Yes, you did. You gave me what I thought was a joke. You gave me a sack full of money with a dollar sign on it.
The little dollar sign,
I know.
yeah.
I can't believe that that's actually how they transport money.
I was surprised myself.
I thought that was like a DuckTales only thing. But you said that's actually what banks use.
That's what I took the money out of the bank in.
Well, and I happen to know exactly which bank that was because that's probably as far as you know about this story. But this story actually keeps going.
You robbed a bank recently, Mr. Nefario.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's actually spot on.
I can neither confirm nor deny these claims.
I can confirm it. You robbed a bank, and
Well, someone robbed a bank.
Somebody probably robbed a bank. It
we're-
could have been anyone. We're all supervillains here, except for you, Jeff. Excuse me.
fine.
But you're a villain. You're
Thank
villainous.
Yes, thank you. I just don't have any sort of
Superpowers yet. You're working
except
on
for
it.
infinite patience with my idiot sort of co-pod
and the ability to
host.
rise Australia to greater
Well,
heights.
that's true. Yes, Australia, I think, would
Now
probably
saved from
argue
global
if-
warming
if
because of you. Not exactly villainous, but definitely super.
It was an effort.
they ask anybody south of the. No, I was going to say south of the border, but that's Mexico.
Yeah, that'd be
south
Mexico.
of the equator. Yeah, if
Jeff's
I'm a
very-
super villain,
He's
and
very
I think they'll
popular
say.
over there.
Anyways, so I took this money, this sack of literally $100,000, right? And
It's a lot less in volume than you would think.
right, and so I'm like, oh, I gotta deposit this. I can't just have this.
Sure, your money troubles are now over.
Yeah, I'm like,
one would
okay,
think.
actually, now I can actually afford this apartment.
So yeah, I mean, all your little baubles that burned up.
Yeah, I was like, I can actually replace my replacement, and you know what?
easily recovers.
And that's I was in a good mood last time you saw me, right? Because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Great, thank
Yeah,
you for
good
this
on
gesture.
you, Mr. Nefario.
So
This
as
is
soon
great.
as I burned all your shit, I went into my drill and I got the sack of money and I said, I have 2 of these sacks of money. I owe Jeff at least some of this sack of money. I'm just going to give him the whole sack of money.
It was very charitable of you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Now here's what happened next. Okay, so I take that sack of money, and 37 and I go to the bank to deposit it.
Which
Okay?
one? Which bank was that?
That was the First Bank of Metropolis.
Uh-oh.
Downtown.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Why do you say uh-oh?
Well, you know, they've been having a lot of robberies lately.
Yeah, they have been. I learned that they have been, okay? Because me and 37 go to stand in line, and first of all, let's add a cherry on top of the
37
story.
went with you. That's
Yeah, 37. So 37 was sort of just
It's kind of
sticking
a
by
heavy
me the
sack
rest
of
of the
money,
day.
you know.
Yeah, and he was like, I was like, okay, well, thanks for helping me move. Like, what remained of my possessions? You want to, I don't know, like, go run some more errands with me? And he,
you're gonna go have lunch with 37.
yeah, as like a thank you for like helping me move.
At this point, he does kind of have to do what we say.
Sure.
but I had to swing by the bank to deposit my my sack of $100,000. So I get into line, and you're never gonna guess who actually popped in behind me. My ex-girlfriend.
No way.
Yeah, the one. Remember, I used to talk about her all the
Small
time,
world.
and I'm happy to say I've totally moved past it.
Sheila. No.
Nope. We're not saying anything, okay, about her name.
About Diane.
Probably a white chick.
So I run into her to deposit. That's neither here nor there. Okay, I'm not going to confirm or deny that because I'm going to get a lot of emails, a lot of tweets at me. That's party time, Jeff. 68. So, anyways, she says, "Hey, how are you doing? I hear you're doing." Michael told me, that's Michael Torrance. He said, you're doing like a podcast. And I said, yeah, it's going really well. In fact, this is $100,000 in this sack that I'm about to deposit. And she was like,
you didn't tell her it wasn't for the podcast.
no, I mean, I didn't mention it wasn't from, I mean, technically it kind of is, right? I wouldn't have met you guys if it weren't for the podcast.
True.
And so
transit
I said,
property of money.
And then,
details she doesn't need.
Right.
Just you're doing well. You've got a sack of money.
and a detail I did give her was that, and this is my robot butler, 37, and
Sure.
played
nice.
it like a champ. That
Nice
guy's a
touch.
great wingman. He says he pulls out a martini, a fully like prepared martini with an olive and everything. And I don't know how he did it. He just like had it ready to go and just whoop whoop and
It's
like
a baller move to just have a martini in a bank.
it's unbelievable. And he pulls out a beautiful carnation for my ex-girlfriend. I don't know where he's getting like fresh flowers from and how
guy-
he's storing it.
Guy's on the ball.
But it looked like it had bloomed a minute before. Like it was the most pristine carnation you've ever seen.
Well, Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but all of Supreme Leader's units use some of the pocket dimension technology.
That almost means nothing to me, and I believe that you're saying that they can
there are
reach into a
pocket
pocket dimension
dimensions.
and pick a flower out of a different dimension.
Well, they can do a lot of
bring
things
it
with
back.
those pocket dimensions.
37 has a little more freedom than the other units because I use him for more intimate things.
Better at improvising.
Well,
Yeah.
that is going to explain what happens next because it was my turn at the bank line. Right, I come to the front.
So
The
you're
teller-
feeling good. You got a sack of money.
I've just impressed my ex.
Sure,
I've
shoving
got
that down
a
her
robot
throat.
butler.
You got a martini in
A
hand.
martini. I swirl around. I say, I would like to deposit $100,000. You know what this woman does? She reaches under the bank counter and immediately triggers not even the silent alarm, but the loud alarm. And she says that money was stolen from our bank not 1 week ago by a mustachioed fire demon.
Wonder who that could have been.
Because they're apparently the only
well-
ones that use these money sacks.
See, another reason I think this mustache might. First of all, there's not that very many fire monsters walking around Metropolis, let alone ones with mustaches.
Right.
All right, okay. Jeff, Supreme Leader, if I may hijack the story just for a minute,
Sure.
I would like to come clean. It was, in fact, me that stole that money.
Okay, that I don't think is surprising anyone.
No.
Right. I mean,
Not you,
just
Jeff.
No. This
mean,
is sort of what I've been angling at this whole story.
and the money,
John?
the sack with the dollar bill on it, I think is a dead giveaway. That you don't, no one just has that. That's
Yeah,
like
it's not like that's a wallet that people like have. It's not like when I withdraw money from a
Well-
bank, they put it in an envelope for
Now
me.
that I think about it, though, Mr. Nefario does have a lot of sacks, so I would have believed he had a money sack as
Yeah,
well.
I got sacks for capturing people.
He has a lot of
I
people.
got sacks for keeping people in after capture.
Most of his sacks are people capturing sacks. That's it's like 80% of them. But
I got
he
my
has
whole
a lot
sack
of
closet.
All right. You stole this money.
I did, yeah.
And the point of the matter, why did you steal the money? You're doing fine.
It's true. I have a very diverse portfolio across multiple dimensions. It's just for the thrill of it.
Really? You just were walking by a bank and you said, let's do one for old time's sake?
Oh, no, I planned this for weeks on end.
Weeks on end, you planned to rob this bank. You only came out with 2 sacks of money?
I'll tell you, it was not a very good plan. I'll tell you about the plan, though. The plan was originally, cutting off the security and going in silently at night. Then I realized, I'm a fire monster.
Yeah, it's not
I can
really
literally
your
That's
just-
not your
style.
game.
I can just burn down the bank vault door.
Yeah.
Oh, did they replace that, by the way?
There was a shiny new bank vault door and a lot of sort of
Quick
charred
turnaround.
marble around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what gets me every time I see those big bank vault doors. I think to myself, wonder if I can melt it.
Yeah, you once robbed a bank because you needed cash to deposit into a different bank because they were giving something away that you wanted. Which
Oh,
made,
yeah, my iPod Nano.
An iPod Nano.
yeah, he robbed a bank because there
Yeah,
was a
the
different
third generation one, the one that was kind of long and thin.
Yeah, I know it. I
And
know. Well, I had
I-
one of those too. I just bought one for like $160 when it came out.
No, I didn't want to do that.
I don't even have much cash, but that was something I could afford.
Well, I didn't have any cash, and I can't carry credit cards.
Right, and so I didn't understand why he didn't just steal the iPod directly.
Yeah,
I feel like there were
you could
extra
steal-
steps.
Yeah,
that
you're
you
really
took to
throwing a
get
bunch
there.
of middlemen in this.
Well, I tell you, ultimately, the iPod thing was a complete bust because that thing's made of plastic and glass.
Right, it just melted. in your
Totally
hand.
melted. I didn't even have a chance to get that U2 album on it.
What were you thinking was going to happen? Why did you want this one item?
I'm a sucker for a good ad, I gotta tell you. Those ads were great when they were all dancing around, all
you-
colors.
Mr. Nefair, do you have a social security number?
I have a lot of social security numbers, but most of them are from my victims.
All right.
Sure. If you're going to open up a bank account, usually
You
there's-
do need, to give
like-
them some
there's, like,
information.
information they need.
So that they make sure you're not going to like be laundering this money for terrorists. There's literally something they look up, and I gotta imagine that as soon as you show up in a bank,
Oh, they
there's
assume that
all
I am
kinds
already
of
the terrorist. That is
flags.
the laundering is being done for you.
Oh, so they're actually assuming you're cutting out middlemen.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
really you're just
adding
inconveniencing
numerous-
a lot of other businesses. And
Yeah,
putting-
almost all the public services and paid for services that I receive, I get out of fear.
You're putting all these people into unneeded
You're
trauma.
an interesting fellow, Mr. Nefario.
Well, a lot of the trauma is just at the sight of me too.
It is
Sure.
a wicked web you weave.
Right.
That's no
He's
doubt there.
Eating children and dogs and baking things and robbing banks and listening to you two.
Diving back into my story.
Oh yeah, pardon
The alarms are going off.
digression.
So yeah, how did you get out of this kerfuffle?
So the alarms are going off, right? And the bank teller is like, just stay right there, don't move. Like, let me see your hands. I panic. I throw my hands up in the air, and I
That
remember,
security guard with the bitchin' hair come in.
yeah. Wait, what bitchin' hair?
The kind of sandy blonde guy.
There was there was a guard that looked like he had recently gotten a haircut. I'll say that, who looked very nervous. Yeah, he had like a big like sort of like burns all over the side of his
that's the
face,
guy.
and he kept muttering, "Not again, not again. Oh my God, not again." And
I might have mussed him up a little bit.
so I throw my
Surprised he
hands up in the
survived.
air, and I know I'm like, okay, I can explain away this money, right? Because I'll rat on you immediately because I know that they got no chance against you, right? It's
That's
like you're
fair,
gonna
yeah.
like, what are they gonna do to this
I'm
fire
a
demon?
super villain. I really do require a
It's-
superhero
it's
to be quelled.
Not like they didn't know who it was, right? And so, but
that's
what
fair.
I am panicking about is that I know I have a kryptonite knife in my pocket, which I've started carrying around.
That's for the
That
best.
is
Yeah.
smart,
Yeah,
Jeff.
because your brother had so much of it that I got some, fashioned one into a knife.
Wow, that is impressive.
Stephen really is very
Yeah.
generous.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the
actually,
way.
it was actually Steven's wife she said, "Here, if you take this knife, will you leave me alone?"
Judy.
I said, "No deal," but she gave me the
Oh,
knife anyways.
Judy.
So you have a knife made of kryptonite.
Yeah, literally in my pocket. I was like,
Like
"This is going to look suspicious." Like, because
kryptonite.
it's definitely not. That's good.
Well, yeah, you're there with a robot. And,
Speaking of robots,
Yeah.
37 freaks the fuck
I
out.
think I know where this is going.
Where he had at one time produced a martini for me that's still in my hand, he suddenly has produced a bevy of guns.
Well, yeah, he has these defenses that I programmed him to defend. All of us here from dangers, from incoming threats or hostility. So if someone was aiming a weapon at you while 37 was in proximity, that's bad news for them.
Every employee in that bank hit the ground because they had bullets flying through their head.
Yeah, he's got
He
bullets.
murdered
very
them.
good.
He
He's very good.
Fired. He shot everybody in like one. It was like a big bang.
I
But it
gotta
was just
upgrade that
bullets
guy.
flying
Most
through
of
the
my
air.
killbots, they're not using bullets anymore. Those are
These
like an
were-
old generation.
These were
raise.
okay.
Yeah, they are.
Pop up. All right.
I think
So
it's down.
So he starts riddling
yeah,
the citizens.
and you know what?
with
My
bullets.
reaction is. My reaction is, yep. Like, all right, here we go. Like this is this sort of thing again. My
You're
ex-girlfriend.
not phased by all the
No.
carnage.
My ex-girlfriend sees this, that I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Everybody else is screaming. All the other patrons are yelling and screaming. They can't believe it. Just, it's horrendous. These people will never forget what happened. I'm already forgetting the details because this has become so commonplace in my life.
Right, 37 goes on a murder spree. You're rolling your eyes.
Yeah. My ex-girlfriend sees this sort of blankness behind my eyes, and she's suddenly just done with me. She's like, oh my God, what have you become? Like, what kind of a monster are you that you can't even like empathize with these bank tellers who have families and everything?
She walk out on you.
She booked it. And you know who else booked it? 37. 37
Well, yeah.
bails on the place. All these little screens and everything are flashing fugitive mode.
Fugitive mode.
Yeah,
no,
you
fugitive
okay? So you knew that.
Sure, he's on the lam. Okay, that'll help me track him down if he's in hiding because he murdered a bunch of.
So he books it out the way, right?
People.
My ex-girlfriend is running shortly behind him, right? But obviously slower. Right before she gets to the door, boom. You know who lands?
Who?
Give you one guess.
Someone.
I said lands.
Right.
At the front door of the bank that had just been robbed.
Oh shit!
Not had just been robbed, but had just been shot up, I guess.
Superman.
Superman.
What?
Superman himself lands there in all of his glory and all of his cape. Yeah. And so he comes into the bank.
Superman.
He sweeps in. My ex-girlfriend is basically like in his arms, like crying already. She's saying, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Like a robot did this. A robot killed everybody. He's trying to get the details. And he's got his back to me, right? And I'm thinking, oh my God.
You've got the knife.
I've got the kryptonite knife sitting in my pocket.
Perfect opportunity.
He turns to me. He sticks out his hand and he says, citizen? And I take his hand too. And so my left hand is in my pocket, fumbling with this knife.
So wait, hold on, because he gets pretty sick just being near kryptonite. And does it have like a lead case or something?
That's exactly what I have. I have a lead case
okay.
over it. So he doesn't know that I've got this in my left hand. Literally my left hand. My right hand is Superman's hand. My left hand is a kryptonite knife in a lead sheath. Okay? One quick move and it's done. And I know, and I look into my ex-girlfriend's eyes and I'm like, oh, this is what it's all built for.
This is the climax, sure. You're gonna fulfill your destiny. You're gonna murder Superman right in front of her, and then she'll take you seriously.
And she knows I'm rich. I have a robot butler, murderous robot butler, and I'm the man who's murdered Superman. That's going to be on the front page headline tomorrow. I'm thinking isn't going to be bank shot up by robot. It's going to be man murders Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, robot did some stuff.
But
yeah, that's a page 3 thing at best.
Obviously,
probably be tied into if it was all at the same bank.
Well, yeah. Spoiler alert: Superman's still flying around because my hand.
Right, you probably would have led with that if you'd killed him. I bet.
He looks me square into my eyes, and I had thought about this moment over. I'm sure less than you guys have, but over and over again. But like, what am I going to do when I finally meet him? I'm about to plunge the knife into his chest.
A few months now.
The only thing that came out of my mouth was "I love you," and that was it. And I dropped it. I couldn't even pull the knife out.
I love you.
Froze.
That's a different response than I expected.
And I was thinking about my ex-girlfriend at the time, so that's what I'm thinking it was. Is that I was like, I'm going to impress my ex-girlfriend. I'm going to say I love you, and then I'll do that.
So
and
maybe you mixed up. Like the I love you was supposed to happen after you killed him, and you kind of jumped the gun with the I love you. You think
immediately a cold sweat comes over me. I couldn't do anything. Next thing I know, he's out of there, and
so he didn't respond to your love.
I think it happens to him a lot, and he just sort of
people are always telling him they love him.
You think you just got lost in his eyes too long?
They are steely blue.
Aren't
that
they
is,
just?
I mean, that's maybe why they call him Man of Steel. Man of steely blue eyes.
The man does have. I hate to admit, but very, very piercing, just gorgeous blue eyes.
They really cut to the core of you.
They do.
Son of a bitch.
So, no, I did not kill Superman.
Well, honestly, that news on some level infuriates me, but being that I've numerous times been very close to murdering Superman and then at the last minute not been able to sort of seal the deal, I can empathize
I know
with you.
Exactly what you guys have been going through.
I
totally understand you, brother.
It is very upsetting. So, welcome. I think if ever there's a moment that you are officially a part of the team, Jeff, it's now.
Thank you, because
you've been there.
I've given you guys grief in the past. I've said, guys, it can't be that hard. Like, you guys, look at all the things you got at your disposal. Just punch him once with the kryptonite fist.
Mm-hmm.
I really had no idea how difficult it is in the moment, and I apologize for that.
I wonder if that's like a low-key superpower. Like he's got some sort of hypnosis that's not as well advertised as his other abilities.
I bet everybody that's about to talk about it has been hypnotized. It's not
sure, because we all know about the flight and the strength and what have you.
X-ray vision.
Sure, all that well, but maybe he does something where he kind of mind zaps you.
Yeah,
you get the Superman mind blast going. And then now you love him because we hate him.
What do you think? Could it be Kryptonian pheromones?
Once we murder him and I've got him on my slab and we can dissect him, we'll get to the bottom of it.
I think it's a good idea.
So,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's my story. I'm sorry it sort of hijacked the airwaves here for a second.
No, it's fast. That's good. That's good. I guess this is radio where we're broadcasting live.
It's metaphorical.
It's not actually live.
It's not live. This is a pre-recorded thing. Airwaves, I shouldn't have used that metaphor. I'm sorry. This is just something that will be listened to later, probably much later.
It's all right. It's a confusing issue.
Yeah.
But, wow. Well, I mean, usually, I think, if I'm being honest, we get sort of sidetracked, but this was actually pretty on point. This was a story about facing Superman.
Mm-hmm. Facing the man himself.
And Jeff did it. He went out there. He was prepared. He had the knife. You also had it encased in lead, which good on you. A lot of people don't realize that it gives off a small amount of radiation, kryptonite, and
I don't.
it
I'm
can
not fucking with that.
yeah, it can be very. Lex Luthor got into some trouble with that. He used to carry kryptonite in his pocket for years, and he got radiation poisoning.
Is that why he's bald? I mean, that
Very. I think he
possible.
was. I think he might have been bald before that, but
Chicken or the egg kind of thing, huh?
I don't think one would cause the other. You think him being bald would cause him to carry kryptonite around?
Well, I mean, if
I
you
think
look
that's
into
the
like that's
expression of
more of a
chicken and the egg.
psychological issue than wouldn't you say? But I mean, if he's just doing the shaved head thing for sympathy now, because obviously
I know. I think he's straight up bald.
he just can't grow hair anymore.
I mean, Lex and I aren't really like buds or anything. We're both super villains. So
We've all
we're
been in the same room and everything.
Well, he's one of those schmuck supervillains who tries to pretend he's legit. He doesn't just own it, you know? I mean, sometimes he goes full on, he's got like the green and purple suit, and other times he's wearing like a business suit and he's talking about stocks.
Well, he's a very wealthy, successful businessman.
Sure, but, you know,
I think he actually owns Kinko's.
he owns a lot of Metropolis.
LexCorp has a very large.
If
purview.
you
that,
follow
yeah.
the parent companies, most things in Metropolis,
all
I think, go
those
back.
Oh wait,
to-
wait.
Companies are just so
Do you think he
complicated.
owns that Kinko's? Yours?
I don't think
Is
he,
yours
like-
removed from the franchise.
Right. Well, yeah, it's the only Kinko's left.
the only Kinko's.
Right. And all the other ones are FedEx business, but ours is the only one. Yeah, maybe he does.
Maybe he owns like the street or something, and you guys are paying rent to.
That, I mean, no
Could've
matter
been
what,
back in
there's
his real
something-
estate days. I remember in the '80s he was buying up all that real estate.
No. So Lex Luthor. I mean,
I think that's actually where AJ's house is, up in the hills, is in one of the former Lex Corp's sort of like holding properties.
They're
One of the
very
gated
amenable
communities.
to non-traditional type humans.
And that is AJ. That is AJ.
non-traditional as they come.
I don't even know if human really
Yeah.
applies any longer.
Sorry.
much
Cyborg
less human
squid.
than other stuff, right?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, Pop Pop. Pop Pop, you okay, bud?
okay. I guess I'll turn the hearing aid back on.
Pop Pop. Pop Pop, how are you doing? You ready
Jeffrey!
to- Yep.
Jeffrey!
Hey, bud.
Oh, whoa, did I doze off?
Yeah, just a little bit. Boy, you sweat. You sweat a lot. When you sleep.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, you know, it comes with the territory.
What territory are you talking about?
Oh, you know, the old country, when your grandmother and I came over, it was always cold. I was so wanting to be warm.
All
and I
right,
drank
that's
a lot,
enough.
and it's
Pop,
not
pop.
the same.
All right. How about you ready to go to the movie? Huh?
You guys
You
are
go check out
gonna
the-
see a
Yes, I'm
film.
going to see the new Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh, yeah, he likes the
It-
Fast and the Furious.
They drive. They like to. They drive and they go fast.
Yeah, they're
not
fast.
like that superhero Batman.
Pop Pop.
He's not a good.
Pop,
he's
I keep
so
telling you,
slow.
Batman drives very fast.
No,
he does not
no.
drive slow, and he's very furious. He's one of the
Yeah.
angriest superheroes there are. Anyways, yeah, he goes gaga for these freaking Fast and Furious movies. I don't know why.
Not too bad. Why ever leave off on that anyway? Any case, no. You know what my favorite movie was? It was
Pop,
a
Pop.
good one from many years ago. It's about the mouse, the Jew mouse. What is he called?
Fievel,
They're
is it like
nice.
Fievel's Great Adventure.
No. It was a similar mouse. Oh, he was out
Similar
in the
mouse?
West. He was out
the
in the
rest-
Old West.
Keywords.
He was.
The Old West. Yeah, that's Fievel Goes West.
No, it wasn't Fievel. It wasn't that Jew mouse. It was the other one.
The other Jew mouse.
Yes, he had. Jimmy Stewart was in the cast. I swear to God,
Yeah,
he was
that's
in the
no,
cast.
that's Fievel Goes West. He played a dog.
No, it wasn't Fievel.
He played a dog sheriff, right? Jimmy Stewart plays a dog sheriff in Fievel Goes West. Who do you think Jimmy
No.
Stewart played in the movie you're thinking of?
No, you remember? You know what I remember about Jimmy Stewart? He said he was not. He's a gentleman to all the ladies. But this mouse,
yeah.
he's a different mouse.
No, it's Fievel.
He had a cat friend.
Yeah, that's Fievel Goes West. Grandpa,
No,
Grandpa,
Fievel
I want you to do me a
didn't have
favor
the
and
cat
describe to me Fievel Goes West. Describe to me the movie Fievel Goes West. If you think this is a different movie than Fievel Goes West, tell me what movie Fievel Goes West
So
is.
Fievel Goes West, it has the train.
Yep.
Yes, I remember the train.
Does the movie you're thinking of have a train?
Maybe it has a train, but not
Is that
in
the only
end of
similarity
the
you think?
movie.
Not at the. Okay.
So Fievel Goes West, it has
that's
it has the kicking ladies, the dancers, they kick and they
Yeah.
get on the boat with the poor boy.
wait, the boat?
And they have the cards and they're playing cards.
Uh-huh.
And then he
still could
wins
be
the
Fievel
boat ticket. And he says,
Wait.
"Oh, I'm going to America."
This is a mouse still?
He's a Jewish mouse. He's a little Jewish mouse, and he says, "Oh, I'm going to America." And then he bumps into the woman on the boat, and they have the eye contact, and they think that she's naked later. I don't know.
What? You think this is an animated movie?
Because
That
she's
she's
not a
naked?
mouse, or maybe
I think you're thinking of Titanic.
And then they are in the front of the boat, and he says, "I'm not going out there. I'm a Fievel. I'm going west."
He says, "I'm Fievel, I'm going west," and you don't think that
And
this is
she
Fievel
says,
Goes West?
"My heart goes on." And then,
That's Titanic.
and then
Pop up. I think you
And then the
really
iceberg, and then there's the train, and I can't remember. Who is that man?
Pop up.
Don't panic, sir.
That's pop up. That's my friend, Mr. Nefario, and like
He's a fireman.
Yes, he is. We've already met him. Remember?
jeez.
He's fine. He's fine. Guys, I gotta get Pop up out of here. Okay?
Yeah, why?
Can we just one? Okay.
Okay,
Is
what?
he back asleep? Guys, I'm sorry. I got to get him out of here before he wakes up again, and he's
Why-
gonna.
I don't
freak out.
understand.
He's gonna see Mr. Nefario again. He's just gonna freak out again.
He seemed to be very, very uncomfortable with me.
Yeah, I mean, we have a perfectly good green room. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, I'm not
Seems
putting
like he
him.
might have been happier there.
Yes, it would have been nice to have him not out here while we're trying to record the podcast, but I'm not taking him in the green room. The green room's filled with kryptonite. We're just been talking about all the radiation of it.
Well, it's-
just
Oh, yeah.
coated,
It's got the paint, the
Yeah,
walls.
we've
the
already
paint
talked
is
about that on this
laced
podcast.
with kryptonite in the
which
paint.
is just doesn't make any sense because it's not like we're going to have Superman as a guest and like he's going to be in the green room or something. So why
Yeah,
do we
what-
have?
No,
why
that's
do we just
ridiculous.
expose
That
everybody
never
to the
happened.
radiation of the kryptonite?
Well, hold on. That's an interesting idea. No, that wouldn't. But well, Superman as a guest on the podcast probably wouldn't work.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
I don't think he'd ever come.
On
Maybe
a
we could
on a
get him-
podcast called "Ending Superman's Life," huh? You think we would? Yeah.
Well, maybe if we had a different podcast, like Saving Superman's Life, or
I wonder if a podcast just isn't big enough for Superman.
right. I don't know if podcast might be too low tech or something for him. He's sort of high profile guy.
Guess so.
Well, no, it's funny you mentioned because we're always seeking him out, right? We're kidnapping his girlfriend or trying to lure him places that he can sense there's going to be danger there.
And pardon the
Or
pun,
just-
but we're using a lot of nefarious natured events to
Historically,
lure him.
that's been,
or just running into him at a bank.
or he shows up at the bank, and
Either
I'd like to
way.
point out, doesn't save anyone.
No, he didn't. Yeah, that was actually. I was just like,
So-
why is everybody so in love with you when all you do is you come, you see like, oh yeah, there are a bunch of dead people here. Well,
Showed up after the carnage.
tally ho, I'll shake your hand because you're not dead.
Late to the party. But I'm just saying, historically, that's been our sort of MO or the way we operate.
True.
But if we could get him, if we extend an olive branch, okay, well, I don't even think he's aware of this podcast, honestly.
He's never mentioned it any time he's defeated me.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
I feel like he would too. I'm a fairly recognizable character.
It's a pretty popular podcast. We've got a lot of followers. We get a
Well,
lot of tweets and emails and things.
yeah.
We have some.
In the metropolis sort of region.
And abroad, I
mean,
think.
we're definitely local.
I'm saying
It's like local news.
yeah.
maybe if we tweaked the show a bit, maybe we could get Superman as a guest and then murder him.
Well, this sounds just as half baked as every other idea. So I don't. Whatever.
I could definitely see this
We
flaring
could
out.
fully bake it. We could, we up the production a bit.
I doubt we have the follow through to do this. So I'm just gonna say whatever.
Listen, I'm
Whatever you
open
guys
to
want.
it. But honestly, I think we're shooting for the stars here. But I mean, that's how you get to the moon, right? Yeah.
I think they aimed for the moon when they got to the moon. I don't think they were trying to get to the stars and they were like, oh shit. It's not like a Columbus thing where we're trying to get to something further away and we ran into this thing that we didn't know was there.
I go to the moon every week, so
I would think that they would shoot for where the moon was going to be later, but
you got.
what do I know about interdimensional travel?
I guess that's true, but I don't think they do that by aiming at a star behind it. Maybe they do.
Right. No, you shoot for the moon and then you hit like a skyscraper or something because you were trying to. I think that's the way it works.
Well, the skyscraper's not going to, I mean, if you can see the moon and you shoot for it, you're not going to hit anything in between. Unless you're talking about like a glass transparent skyscraper that you can see the moon through.
From the ground, you're throwing.
That actually gives me an idea. I wonder, could I get somebody to throw a skyscraper?
I don't see
What
why
is that? How's that related? That's like you robbing the bank. You got to stay focused, man. This is just all just sort of nonsense little side projects.
Listen,
You're so
Jeff,
entrepreneurial.
I've been
but, like,
around for thousands of your years. I have no idea what I'm going to do next week. Things are not exactly going well. I don't have a structured environment.
thousands. I thought you were born in Evanston in like 74 or something.
No, that's where I manifested here.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's different dimensions and whatnot.
Sure.
Guys, Pop and I have got to catch this movie.
Sure, you're gonna. What are you're gonna?
So
okay,
you're
yeah.
gonna go
Fievel
see
goes
some
west.
Fast and Furious movie or something?
Yeah, it's, it actually identify with it pretty good. I've got a lot of fury building up inside.
No, I can understand that.
You know what? Actually, I do believe that you could. You are uniquely qualified. Actually, both of you are.
I'm gonna. I think we've got something with Jeff's idea to invite him to the show.
That was not my idea. Again, that's not my idea. This is like that thing
That time where you told us to kill Michael Torrance.
No, that was again not my idea. In fact, my idea was the
bee-teeth
opposite of that.
idea
The bee
that you
teeth,
had.
the kryptonite bee teeth. Yeah,
Right.
That didn't work out
Saber-toothed
at all.
tiger with
Yeah,
kryptonite with
no.
bees for teeth and
No.
have kryptonite stingers. That was totally your idea.
No, it was not. And I told you it wasn't going to work, and it didn't work. And this is not my idea either. Okay, I don't want my name tied to this at all. If you actually go through with it, which again,
Well,
I
I've
can't
already
imagine
I've already
we will.
written down Jeff's idea, lure Superman to the show. So it's already. I've written it down. I'm not going to erase it.
Well, at least it's never
Well,
going
yeah,
to
you
happen.
wrote it in pen.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Right?
So-
Yeah. Actually,
We don't have whiteout,
John, I
do
can
we?
give you. John, you can take that pen back from Pop. Now we have to go watch a movie though. Okay, so can we just do the
Well-
fuck you, Superman?
Actually, I'm going to say, welcome, Superman. We hope to see you real soon on the show.
All
I
right.
think is the best way.
I got to tell you, I'm so confused
Should we
by
say that
the
on
vibe
three?
between everybody now.
All right. What are we saying? Welcome, Superman, to the podcast.
I'm saying we hope to see you soon
All right. We hope to see you soon. One,
as
two,
a guest on the show.
one,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Welcome,
Well,
Superman. We hope to see you soon as a
Oh,
guest on the show.
Don't worry, Superman. We'll get it together.
Guys, I gotta catch this matinee.
Hey folks, Engineer John here again. Remember, today's episode was brought to you by Halley's Circus. Check them out and let them know we sent you. It would really help us out. Special thanks to Nick Robinson, Garrett Warner, and John Maynard. Our music is composed by Daniel Cloak and Kevin MacLeod.